Okay, so today I'm going to jump right into it, not even with an intro. How you doing today? This is Jan from New York City. I truly, truly love helping people to keep some more of their own hard-earned money. And this is what the topic is about today, sudden job loss. We relate so many things, the things that we do, like the careers that we have or the jobs that we've maintained over time. And sometimes it is with great shock and sadness when a person suddenly loses their job, the thing that they were connected with. I know I went through this on Valentine's Day, 1997, myself, along with a sweeping amount of people that day. Okay, we were, quote, laid off that day, out of nowhere, out of the blue, unexpected. Everybody was getting calls out of like nowhere. This was on a Friday afternoon. I'll never forget it. And it was Valentine's Day that year. And it was an upbeat day. That's how it started. We even had a little bit of an office party for lunch celebrating Valentine's Day. That's why the whole thing was weird. What happened was at that company that I'd worked for, there was a job, there was a position shakeup, if you will, in the company. It was some, I don't know, realignment, different managers. So a new broom pretty much sweeps clean, if you will. And that is precisely what happened. So we had noticed little by little after the wonderful luncheon that people were getting called one by one to human resources. And everybody that went in there, they were in, called in singly, came back with a look of great disdain and a sullen face. You know that face, okay? It's like a look you can't even describe. Okay, so about, I don't know, maybe four people were ahead of me. And then, of course, my name came up too, and I took that walk over there. And a big thank you, and I'm sorry's and all this and that. To say the least, were we surprised, the staff? We were kind of sort of shocked, but we kind of sort of saw the writing on the wall because weird things were happening at the office, like for the previous couple of weeks, just couldn't, really identify it, just strange things. And we started scratching our heads, hoping and praying that that day didn't happen, but it did. It did happen. So what happens to you when you get a sudden job loss? I could tell you this much. You have to take a couple of days to really like let it absorb that it happened, because it is sort of like a traumatic experience. And if you put in X number of years, like most of that staff did, including myself, it's like, oh, okay. No, it is an adjustment period. So it was really weird looking at a box of Valentine candy and going home and walking back. I don't even know how I got home in one piece because of the shock and devastation. My mind was like far, far away as I was crossing major streets to get to my destination. It was just like, oh my gosh, it was just so surreal. It was just not good at that moment. But the good news is you don't stay in that place mentally. You do move on. And then, when all that like initial shock wears off, here are the things that I strongly suggest. Number one, do not delay filing for unemployment. Okay. That's like just one of those things because it takes a little time. You look it up, it shows you step by step how to do it. You know, Back in the really olden days, I'm talking about even, well, I would have been too young, but a lot of people like literally would have to go down to the office and stand there and pick up their check every week, like manually go and pick it up. Thankfully, things had improved by that time, when this had happened to the office, but it is a devastating situation. So don't forget, first thing right away, as soon as possible, you know, start filing for unemployment. That's really important. Okay, working with the resources that, hopefully have been established, like, emergency funds. But don't go to the emergency fund first. Work with everything you've been, given, like maybe you're hopefully receive the severance package of some sort, but not all people get severance packages, this, that, and that, and this. Now, the main focus is to maintain the stuff that's really, really important. Like, hopefully, you've been budgeting for a while. This is why it's always so good during the better times to be ready. You know what I'm saying? So, maintain the focus of attention on upkeeping your four walls. You don't want to fall into the rabbit hole of not maintaining your four walls, and just always keep reminding yourself this is temporary. As awful as it feels, the situation is temporary. It is not a forever place. So it's really important to, remind yourself of that. Okay. So you're going to focus your attention on your four walls, all the necessities that are very important. Okay. And like I said, it's really important. And you need to, all of us who've been there, cut out all unnecessary expenses. I really mean it. The temptation, sometimes when people are sad about things is to, go for the frivolous expenses. I get that. I understand, but try not to, excuse me, try not to do that. So there you go. Having that budget already planned out during better times is so important. Excuse me, please. So in the meantime, while all that is going on, try to make money with little side hustles and gigs. Thankfully, these days, as opposed to the day when we got laid off back in 1997, there weren't as many availabilities of these like little gigs, even if it's picking up jobs at like those shopping cart type jobs, or if you're a driver, if you could pick up some of those driver type jobs. You don't want to fall into the rabbit hole of debt. This is a time where people may be more vulnerable or prey to do that. So, thankfully, you could always go into one of those little side hustle gigs. Who knows? You might really like it. I always say that because it's true. You might really like that thing and just discover the world of the self employed, where the only way you could get fired is by yourself. And many times people wouldn't want to fire themselves. At least I would bank on that thought at any rate. Go to your grocery stockpile, your home, shop at home. Those are the weeks, those are months, and hopefully over time in the past, you've been building up your grocery stockpile reserves and not have to go grocery shopping at that time outside and spending that extra money, which could effectively pay something towards the four walls. So if you're not going to the grocery store because you're shopping the grocery, little baby grocery store that you created at home, in your grocery stockpile, then you could reallocate those funds to the four wall type of bills, like rent, mortgage, gas, electric, all the good stuff that's, totally, absolutely necessary. The other thing is that try to brush up in the meantime while you have that, in between time, utilize all of it. Get out your resumes as much as you can, brush up on your job interviewing skills. Things may have changed a bit since the good old days of yesteryear in my time, as far as job interviews go, and the new normal, whatever that may be. So check into that. It's very important. You have that extra time. So be open minded to possible career changes. Sometimes we just cannot get the stuff that we're used to. We might have to make a concession or two. Hey, this happens. We have to remain a little or somewhat flexible in life. Something sometimes out of bad, many times out of bad can come really, really good. At the first day when you learn that your job is cut, not necessarily going to feel that way. But over time, and with a calm attitude, just take it as it comes, and be proactive in the right areas, and start that unemployment immediately, if not sooner. As soon as you could do that, start that right away, and take that extra time for the improvement of your future career. There you go. Hopefully this was helpful to you, and I wish that everybody has an amazing, fantastic day. If you found any value in this video or any of my videos, please smash down the like button. It helps my channel grow. Thank you very much.